First contender in the black chair tonight is Sarah Jane Bodell, a web developer from Coventry. She's answering questions on the sitcom Peep Show. Don Crerar is a retired computer programmer from Hampshire. His specialist subject, the Nazi architect Albert Speer. Next, Khan Nagendra, he's a GP from West Sussex. His subject, the X-Men films. Shahab Mossavat is a company director from London, and he's answering questions on Henry III. And Ailsa Watson, an administrator from Renfrewshire, on the Jack Parlabane novels by Christopher Brookmyre. Hello and welcome to Mastermind with me, John Humphrys, and this really is television's toughest quiz. No conferring, no team members to chip in, they're on their own. Just one contender and the clock. 90 seconds on the specialist subject, 2 minutes of general knowledge. And the prize tonight, the last place in the grand final. So let's have our first contender, please. And your name is?
Sarah Jane Bodell.
Your occupation?
Web developer.
And your chosen subject?
Peep Show.
In 90 seconds, starting now, in the sitcom Peep Show, two friends, Mark Corrigan and Jeremy Osborne, live in a tower block in Croydon. What's its name?
Apollo House.
Yep. What important family occasion does Mark miss when he and Jeremy are accidentally locked in Zara's apartment building?
His son's christening.
Yes. To which town does Jeremy go to buy bread made with spelt flour in an attempt to prove that he's worthy of Elena's love?
Hastings.
Yes. Superhands' first name is revealed at his wedding to Molly. What is it?
Simon.
Yep. During his weekend away with Sophie, Mark finds Jeremy lying apparently unconscious in front of the television. Which programme is on?
Tenko.
Yep. Johnson orders Mark to fire Sophie, but just as he's about to do so, she tells him what piece of big news?
She's pregnant.
Yes. What Christmas present does Mark give to Jeremy and Dobby, having taken advantage of a 2-for-1 offer?
Kitchen tongs.
Right. Mark returns to his old university looking for April, who'd served him in a shoe shop and whom he describes as having the magical combo of beauty and low self-esteem. Which university is it?
Dartmouth.
Yep. When Superhands' marriage to Molly finally breaks up after she discovers that he and Jeremy had kidnapped April's husband, Angus, Superhands announces that he is going to van it to where?
Moldova.
Macedonia. According to Jeremy and Superhands' manager, Callie, what objects were probably crafted by the ancient inhabitants of Atlantis and are powerful centres of healing? In order to advance his relationship with her, Mark has to pretend that he believes this too.
Crystal skulls.
Yep. While Jeremy is on jury duty, he swaps texts with the defendant and eventually takes her back to the flat. What is her name?
Carla.
Yep. What does Jeremy write on Mark's eyelids to supposedly improve Mark's chances with April, who's coming round for dinner? They then discover that Jeremy had used a permanent marker.
I love you.
I love you is exactly what he'd written. You have, Sarah Jane, 11 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Don Crerar.
Your occupation?
Retired computer programmer.
And your chosen subject?
Albert Speer.
Albert Speer, in 90 seconds. Speer was a German architect and the Minister of Armaments and War Production for Nazi Germany. In which large outdoor area in Berlin did he design a theatrical display for the mass rally on the 1st of May 1933?
Tempelhof.
Yep. Speer was appointed as Hitler's chief architect after the sudden death in January 1934 of the previous holder of the post. Who was he?
Trost.
Yep. To what post did Hitler appoint Speer on the 30th of January 1937 with responsibility for reconstructing Berlin as the Führer's dream capital, Germania?
General Building Inspector.
Yes. At which technical institute near Heidelberg did Speer begin his architectural studies before he moved on to Munich and then Berlin?
Karlsruhe.
Yep. What was the name of the chief technical advisor and Speer's deputy in the Armaments Ministry who reputedly tried to replace Speer while he was hospitalised in 1944?
Saar.
Yes. At which castle did a British unit finally arrest Speer on the 23rd of May 1945?
Glücksburg.
Yep. Which British officer and future Conservative MP served the indictment on Speer in October 1945?
Erie Neve.
Yes. What was the name of the US chief prosecutor who cross-examined Speer in June 1946 at his trial for war crimes?
Jackson.
Yep. What is the German title of Speer's memoirs published in 1969 and later published in English as Inside the Third Reich, in which he describes the Nazi leadership of Germany?
Erinnerung.
Yes. Who was Speer's defence lawyer at his trial in Nuremberg who helped him avoid the death penalty?
Fleschner.
Yep. What was the name of the military prison in Berlin where Speer served almost all of the 20 years sentence for war crimes?
Spandau.
Spandau is correct, as were all your other answers. You have 11 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Carl Magendra.
Your occupation?
GP.
And your chosen subject?
The X-Men films.
In 90 seconds, here we go. Bryan Singer directed the first two X-Men films and returned to direct another film in the franchise in 2014. Which one?
Pass.
In X-Men 2, Bobby Drake's father asks Wolverine what subject he's a professor of at the school for the gifted that their son attends. What does Wolverine reply?
Art.
Yeah. What is the special power of Nightcrawler? He uses it to get himself and Storm into Cerebro.
He's a teleporter.
Yes. At the beginning of X-Men, Wolverine is being held in a Second World War prisoner of war camp. In which Japanese city?
Nagasaki.
Yep, in Logan. What's the name of the research company that has set up a program to develop a group of mutant children to use as weapons?
Transigen.
Yep. Who directed The Wolverine in 2013 and Logan in 2017?
James Mangold.
Correct. In Deadpool, what is the full mutant name of Colossus's young trainee who has the power to detonate atomic bursts from her body?
Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Yes, in X-Men Days of Future Past, Wolverine is sent back to 1973 to stop Mystique killing Dr. Bolivar Trask and so prevent the creation of deadly mutant machines. What are the machines called?
Sentinels.
Yep. In X-Men Origins Wolverine, Logan has to spar with the hugely overweight Fred Dukes to find out if he knows where Victor is. What message is on the front of Duke's vest?
Pass.
The title character of the 2016 film Deadpool is the alter ego of Wade Wilson. Who is he played by?
Ryan Reynolds.
Yep. Laura shoots the Wolverine Logan lookalike clone X-24 with a bullet made from the only substance she could kill him with. What is it?
Adamantium.
Adamantium is correct. You had two passes. The message on Duke's vest was Save the Whales. And Bryan Singer directed the first two films and returned to direct X-Men Days of Future Past. You have scored, Kyle, 9 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Shahab Mossadat.
Your occupation?
Company director.
And your chosen subject?
The life and reign of Henry III.
Henry III in 90 seconds, starting now. In which city's abbey was 9-year-old Henry crowned for the first time in 1216? A second coronation took place at Westminster Abbey in 1220.
Gloucester.
Yep. Who was appointed official guardian of the young King Henry and the kingdom in 1216 till his death 3 years later?
William Marshall.
Yes. What position was held during Henry's reign by Ubed de Burgh, Stephen Seagrave and Hugh Bygod? They were essentially the king's chief advisor and deputy.
Justicia.
Yep. Who was the Bishop of Winchester who acted as Henry's personal tutor? His feud with Hubert de Burgh led to divisions at Henry's court.
Peter de Roche.
Yep. Whom did Henry marry in 1236? Her relatives became powerful, which caused friction with the English barons.
Eleanor of Provence.
Yes. At what royal palace was Henry staying in September 1238 when someone tried to kill him?
Pembroke.
Woodstock. Of which region in France was Simon de Montfort appointed governor in 1247?
Gascony.
Yep. In the 1250s, Henry agreed a deal with the Pope that secured his son Prince Edmund the crown of a kingdom, although he later had to ask the barons for money to pay for the deal. Which kingdom?
Sicily.
Yep. Which document of June 1258 stated there should be 3 parliaments a year and saw the formation of a council of 15 members to reform the running of the realm. The barons demanded the reforms in return for their support.
Provisions of Oxford.
Correct. Henry renounced the provisions, which prompted de Montfort to challenge him at the Battle of Lewes in 1264. Henry supposedly gave his sword as a token of his surrender to one of de Montfort's commanders. Who was he?
Dispenser.
Gilbert de Clare, Earl of Gloucester. De Montfort ruled until 1265 when he was defeated at the Battle of Evesham. Who's said to have saved Henry's life at the battle when he recognised him on the battlefield, even though he was dressed in de Montfort's colours?
His son.
No, Roger of Leyburn. Shahab, you have 8 points. And our final contender, please. And your name is?
Ailsa Watson.
Your occupation?
Administrator.
And your chosen subject?
The Jack Parlabane novels of Christopher Brookmyre.
In 90 seconds, starting now. In Boiling a Frog, the journalist Jack Parlabane is sent to prison after he was caught breaking into the headquarters of what church?
The Catholic Church.
Yes, the Scottish Catholic Church. What is the name of the newspaper proprietor who's murdered with his wife and bodyguards in Country of the Blind?
Roland Voss.
Yep. Which Scottish university, where he's also a rector, does the psychic Gabriel Lafayette visit to give a performance in which he appears to interact with the dead?
Kelvin University.
Correct. What's the name of Rory Glen's brother who's allowed to view Rory's collection of photographs of celebrity women on his computer in Be My Enemy?
Finlay.
Yep. At what hotel does Parlabane's wife, Sarah, attend the surgical registrar's Christmas party? It's always held there, so the guests can book a room if they want to.
It's at the Edinburgh Airport Hotel, the Excelsior.
Yes. In Dead Girl Walking, Moira Lafferty asked Parlabane to investigate the disappearance of Heike Gunn. What band is Gunn a member of?
Savage Earth Heart.
Yep. In Country of the Blind, what name do the media give to the gang that includes Robert Hanna and is responsible for a series of country house break-ins?
The Robin Hoods.
Yep. What is the full name of Spammy, the former drug addict who says that he produced the first single for Heike Gunn's band?
Cameron Scott.
Yep. What disorder is named after Parlabane's cellmate in E Hall and is described to him as a total and chronic failure to take jail seriously?
Pass.
In Black Widow, Diana Jager goes with Peter Elphinston on their first date to see a tribute act to what band?
Blink-182.
Yep. In Quite Ugly One Morning, who receives 3 concurrent life sentences after he's found guilty of hiring killers to murder his enemies?
Stephen Lime.
Yes. In Want You Gone, who gives the hacker Buzzkill access to the RSGN bank computer systems after she's tricked into thinking she's speaking on the phone to someone called Morgan Bell at Corporate Security?
Jane Dunwoody.
Sonia Donovan. One pass, Ailsa. That disorder named after Parlabane's cellmate is Mike Brigitis. You have scored 10 points. Well, a nice close round there. Let's have a look at all the scores. In 5th place, 8 points. Shahab, 4th place, 9 points. Kyle, 3rd place, 10 points. Ailsa, joint 1st place, 11 points apiece. Sarah Jane and Don. And it is the general knowledge round now, and if there's a tie at the end of it, then the number of passes is taken into account, and the person with the fewer passes is the winner. And if they're tied on passes as well, there has to be a tie break. So let us get on with it and ask Shahab to join us again, please. And you start out with 8 points, Shahab. Plenty of time, because there is 2 minutes for general knowledge. So here we go. What is the name of the lion in the Narnia novels whose resurrection parallels that of Christ?
Aslan.
Yep. What is the title of the 3-disc set that features covers of classic American songs released by Bob Dylan in March 2017?
Lay, Lady, Lay.
Triplicate. In which field of the arts is Britain's Rachel Whiteread particularly renowned?
Sculpture.
Yes. Differential and integral are the 2 major forms of what branch of mathematics?
Algebra.
Calculus. In which African capital city is the Shepherd's Hotel initially called the Hôtel des Anglais when it opened in 1841? It was at one time one of the most fashionable in the world.
Casablanca.
Cairo. In which 2016 film, directed and co-written by Fede Alvarez, do 3 friends break into a blind man's house expecting their burglary to be easy?
Up.
Don't Breathe. By what Germanic form of his forename is the composer born Ferenc Liszt generally known?
Friends.
Yes. Which British king did the conspirators in the Gunpowder Plot intend to blow up, along with his wife, eldest son and both houses of Parliament, on the 5th of November, 1605?
James I.
Yes. In Richmal Crompton's Just William stories, what is the name of William Brown's spoilt neighbour who threatened to scream until she's thick?
Dorothy.
Violet Elizabeth. In finance, what word that now means to lend money at illegal or exorbitant rates of interest originally meant the practice of money lending itself?
Usury.
Yes. Which senior Welsh rugby union side shares the Liberty Stadium with Swansea City FC?
Red dragons.
The Ospreys. What traditional story about the abduction of a town's children is related in a poem by Robert Browning?
Hamlin.
No, the Pied Piper of Hamelin. What popular Mexican dish consists of crisp pieces of tortilla, typically covered with melted cheese and jalapeno peppers? It is thought to take its name from the man who invented it in the 1940s.
Nachos.
Yep. The Sweeney is rhyming slang for which branch of the Metropolitan Police?
The CID.
The Flying Squad. The extremely hardy Herdwick sheep is the native breed in which English national park?
The Peak District.
The Lake District. What low-lying island of the Thames estuary is separated from the Essex mainland by a series of creeks that include Benfleet Creek and East Haven Creek?
The Isle of Sheppey.
Canvey.
Oh.
Canvey Island. You had no passes, Shahab. You have a total now of 14 points.
Thank you.
And now Kyle again, please. And you start out with 9 points, Kyle. Let's see how you do with your general knowledge. Here we go. What is the name of the charge incurred by vehicles in London that enter the zone indicated by a sign with a white C on a red circular background?
Congestion charge.
Yep. What completes the first line of Keats' poem To Autumn? Season of mists and...
Mellow fruitfulness.
Yes. Flores is the westernmost and Santa Maria the easternmost of a group of Atlantic islands that lie about 1,000 miles off the Portuguese coast. Which islands?
The Azores.
Yep. What type of short padded jacket, often made of leather with the rib trim, got its name because it was originally worn by air crews during the Second World War?
Bomber jacket.
Yep. Which group had a top 10 hit in 1974 with the song Wall Street Shuffle?
10cc.
Yes. What is the occupation of Robert Angier, played by Hugh Jackman, and Alfred Borden, played by Christian Bale, who are deadly rivals in the 2006 film The Prestige?
French.
They're illusionists. Kandahar, Herat and Mazar-e-Sharif are among the principal cities of which country?
Pass.
What name that comes from the Latin for brother is given to a member of certain Roman Catholic religious orders, especially one of the mendicant orders?
Friars.
Yes. What is the name of the piece of wood on a stringed instrument that supports the strings and transmits their vibrations to the belly of the instrument?
Sounding board.
The bridge. Which country's international rugby union side are known as the Cherry Blossoms, or more recently as the Brave Blossoms?
Japan.
Yep. From 1378 to 1417, there were two popes. One was based in Rome. In which city was the other based?
Avignon.
Yes. What name that comes from the Latin for wool is given to the very fine downy hair that's found on the body of a fetus or a newborn baby?
Lanugo.
Yes. What former county in northwest England gives its name to a type of long, unlinked seasoned sausage commonly served coiled?
Cumberland.
Yep. Who plays the title character Harry Clayton, a brilliant but flawed police officer given the power to control luck in the 2016 television series Stan Lee's Lucky Man?
James. Pass.
What was kept in a building or vault known as a charnel house?
Bones.
Yeah, bones or corpses or human remains, whatever you like. As for your passes, you nearly got there when you said James, the chap who played Harry Clayton. It's James Nesbitt. Annoying, isn't it? And Kandahar, Herat and Mazar-e-Sharif are in Afghanistan. However, Kyle, you have a total now of 20 points. And now, Ailsa, again, please. And you start out with 10 points, Ailsa. The score to beat now is 20. So, here we go. 2 minutes of general knowledge. Which Thames bridge has a central portion that can be raised to allow ships to enter the Pool of London?
A Tower Bridge.
Yep. Whose debut novel, Oranges Are Not the Only Fruit, is based on her early life being brought up by her Pentecostal adoptive mother to be a missionary?
Jeanette Winterson.
Yep. Mendoza province is the principal wine-producing region of which South American country?
Argentina.
Yep. What is the nationality of Valtteri Bottas, who became Lewis Hamilton's teammate for the 2017 Formula One season?
Italian.
Finish. What area of the moon was first photographed in 1959 by the Russian spacecraft Luna 3?
The Sea of Tranquility.
The Dark Side. Which French-born artist's work, The Bride Stripped Bare by Her Bachelors Even, is sometimes referred to as the large glass?
Degas.
Duchamp. The body of which leader, originally embalmed to keep it intact for burial, is on view in a mausoleum in Red Square?
Lenin.
Yep. What word of Old Norse origin is part of the name of England's highest mountain and means a hill or a stretch of barren moorland, especially in the north of England?
Fell.
Yes, what name is given to the technique or practice of drawing maps or charts?
Cartography.
Correct. Who wrote the poem The Famous Tay Whale? With the opening lines, "'Twas in the month of December in the year 1883 that a monster whale came to Dundee, resolved for a few days to sport and play."
William McGonagall.
Yes. In physics, the Greek letter lambda is widely used to signify the wavelength of an electromagnetic wave. What property is signified by the Greek letter nu?
Pass.
The unit of currency of which Asian Commonwealth country is the ringgit?
Malaysia.
Yes. What insects that play a vital role in the pollination of plants have types called carpenter, digger and mason?
Bees.
Yep. What is the name of the Sunderland-born singer who won the 2017 Brit Award for Best British Female Solo Artist?
Ellie Goulding.
Emily Sondé. Who directed the 2017 film Silence, set in the 17th century, in which two Portuguese Jesuit priests travelled to Japan to try to locate their mentor?
Pass.
What aria does the clown Canio sing at the end of Act 1 of the opera Pagliacci when he discovers his wife's infidelity but still has to dress for his performance?
Tears of a Clown.
It was Vesti la Giba, on with the motley. Your two passes, Martin Scorsese directed Silence. And in physics, the Greek letter nu means frequency. And there you go. Elsie, you've now a total of 19 points. And now Sarah Jane again, please. And you start out with 11, and the score to beat is still 20. So here we go, 2 minutes of general knowledge questions. Strawberry Fields Forever, which takes its name from a Salvation Army children's home in Liverpool, was a hit for which band?
Beatles.
Yep. What name did the fashion designer Elsa Schiaparelli give to the vivid shade of pink that she introduced and which became one of her signature colours?
Coral.
Shocking pink. Which American-born operatic soprano had the birth name of Kalogoropoulos? She was one of the leading prima donnas of her day.
Callus.
Yep. What name is given to the thick, dark, treacly substance that's drained from cane sugar during refining and is used in a production of rum?
Sorghum.
Molasses. Certain species of an evergreen tree are the sources of drugs known as taxanes that have been used successfully in the treatment of some cancers. Which tree?
Fir.
Yew tree. Which moon of Jupiter is the second largest of the planet's known satellites and the most heavily cratered object in the solar system?
Io.
Callisto. What title from a Latin word meaning sharer is traditionally given to the wife of a ruling monarch?
Their partner.
Consort. Which star of the silent cinema who was born Gladys Smith in Toronto was awarded a Best Actress Oscar for her role in the 1929 film Coquette? It was her first talking film.
Pickford.
Yes, Mary Pickford. The name of which Sussex Racecourse's summer festival is often prefaced by the adjective glorious?
Newmarket.
Goodwood. Which northern English port city claims to have the oldest Chinatown in Europe?
Liverpool.
Yep. The nephew and adopted son of the Emperor Tiberius was a popular and successful general. By what name is he known?
Marcus Aurelius.
Germanicus. Which media mogul did Mick Jagger's former wife, Jerry Hall, marry in London in March 2016?
Murdoch.
Yep. The city of Baku that lies on the western shore of the Caspian Sea is the capital of which country?
Azerbaijan.
Yes. What is the name of the Scottish group who topped the UK album charts with The Man Who in 1999 and with The Invisible Band in 2001?
The Smiths.
Travis. The mystery of the disappearance of a crime writer in December 1926 was solved 11 days later when she was found in a Harrogate hotel living under the name of her husband's mistress. Which writer?
Christie.
Yeah. The lives of members of a North American Christian sect noted for their plain living are governed by a largely unwritten set of rules known as the Ordnung. Which sect?
Amish.
Yes, is correct. No passes, Sarah Jane. You have 19 points. And finally, Dawn again, please. And you start out with 11 points. The score remains, the score to beat, that is, 20. So, here we go. What is the name of the controversial tennis champion who was known for outbursts such as "You cannot be serious"?
McEnroe.
Yep, Rimsky-Korsakov based an opera on the unfounded belief that the Italian composer Antonio Salieri tried to poison a fellow composer. Which composer?
Mozart.
Yep, in a 2008 animated film, what is the name of the small waste-collecting robot in the distant future who inadvertently embarks on a space journey that will decide the fate of mankind?
Wall-E.
Yes, Margarita Peak on Mount Stanley is one of the highest peaks in which continent?
Australia.
Africa. What name did Edwin Land give to the inexpensive plastic material he invented that is used in sunglasses? It transmits light waves vibrating only in one direction and so cuts down glare.
Pass.
Giles Winterbourne and Grace Melbury are among the principal characters in which Thomas Hardy novel first published in 1887?
Under the Greenwood Tree.
The Woodlanders. Which popular mass-produced car was available from 1908 in a range of colours but was later famously available only in black?
Model T Ford.
Yes, whose first senior medal in a major championships was the bronze in the heptathlon at the 2006 Commonwealth Games in Melbourne?
Jessica Ennis-Hill.
Correct. London, Crown Bob and Lancashire Lad are red-skin varieties of a soft fruit traditionally used in crumbles and made into fools. What fruit?
Apple.
Gooseberry. Which duo got to number 2 in the UK singles chart in 1974 with I'm Leaving It All Up to You? They're part of a famous family.
Pass.
What was the name of the noted Roman historian born in 56 AD who married the daughter of the statesman and soldier Agricola?
Tacitus.
Correct. What items of nightwear take their name from the Persian for leg garment?
Kaftan.
Pyjamas. What did the C stand for in the name of the poet usually referred to as C. Day Lewis?
Cecil.
Yes. Which common small British bird is often referred to as the hedge sparrow, even though it is not a true sparrow at all?
Dunnet.
Dunnock. Which French king was portrayed by the English actor George Blagden in the 2015 BBC period drama Versailles?
Louis XIV.
Is correct, and your time is up. 2 passes, the duo that got to number 2 with that song, Donny and Marie Osmond, and Edwin Land, the man of the Polaroid. Yeah, there we are. Don, 19 points. Well, that was really close. Let's have a look at all of the scores. In 5th place, 14 points. Shahab, joint 2nd place, 19 points apiece. Sarah Jane, Don and Ailsa. In 1st place with 20 points, Kyle. And that means that Kyle takes the last place in the grand final. Congratulations to him. And if you would like to be a contender in the next series, do go to our website, bbc.co.uk/Mastermind, and you can follow us on Twitter @MastermindQuiz. And do join us again next time for more Masterminds. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.